Concept, meaning and need for curriculum. Curriculum is an important element of education. The aims of education are reflected in the curriculum. The aims of education are attained by the school program concerning knowledge, experiences, activities, skills and values. The different school programs are jointly known as curriculum. Curriculum is one of the foundational elements of effective schooling and teaching. The goal of education is to prepare students to participate in the society, and for most people, vision is fundamental to learning. For students with visual impairments, there may be limitations to learning, including in the areas of concept development, language, movement and other developments. For this reason, children with vision impairments may need to learn to use alternative means and strategies for reading, writing, interacting socially and performing various daily tasks. It is important to remember that each child is a unique individual and their educational program needs to be tailored accordingly. Educators define co-curriculum as a knowledge and skills a student should have acquired by the completion of their high school education. This foundation for most all learning is generally related to the school's academic subjects. For students with vision impairments, experiences and concepts casually and incidentally learned by sighted students may need to be systematically and sequentially taught to students with vision impairments. Indeed, students with vision impairments may need instruction in a variety of specific skills identified as expanded core curriculum. The expanded core curriculum refers to essential additional disability specific skills for students with vision impairments. Each low vision or blind student is unique, and so are the additional skills each student will require in order to achieve success in their educational setting. Structure of curriculum. The curriculum designed for ordinary children is generally appropriate for visually impaired children. However, some adaptations to the learning materials and the teaching approaches have to be made so that the learning needs of visually impaired children can be met. The curriculum should be balanced with due consideration given to the children's intellectual, personal, emotional and social developments. To teach visually impaired children, the teacher should adopt a consistent, realistic and flexible approach in curriculum planning and implementation. Need for curriculum. The expanded core curriculum makes a dramatic difference in how prepared students are for their next environment. Meaning of curriculum. A curriculum is the instructional and educative program by following which the pupils achieve their goals, ideals and aspirations of life. It is curriculum through which the general aims of a school education receive concrete expression. Concept of curriculum. Curriculum is a body of subjects or subject matter prepared by the teachers for the students to learn, a course of study and syllabus. It is a field of study. It is made up of its foundation such as philosophical, historical, psychological and social foundation, domains of knowledge as well as its research and principles. Definition of curriculum. Panton and Husserl in the year 2004 has defined curriculum as planned and guided learning experiences under the direction of the school with intended educational outcome. Armstrong in the year 1990 defined curriculum as master plan for selecting content and organizing learning experiences for the purposes of changing or developing learners' behaviors and insights. Characteristics of curriculum. Curriculum should foster the growth and development of attitude and skills required for maintaining a planned social order of democratic type. To put more concretely, it should contribute towards democratic living. Curriculum should not be narrowly conceived but dynamic and forward looking, adequately both the scientific content and the abilities of the pupils to be developed. It should rather cater to the right use of leisure later on and should be related to the environment in which children live. Consequently, it will then become exciting, real and imaginative. Curriculum should be tested and improved through research. It should also aim at bringing about an intelligent and effective adjustment with the environment itself. Further, it should enable pupils to acquire relevant scientific information of subsequent use in the significant areas of human living. It should also be psychologically sound. It should take into account the theories of learning relevant to science teaching. Further, children's capacities and capabilities, if taken into account, will lead to the development of differentiated curriculum. Incorporating geographical difference in it will be another innovation. Curriculum should provide sufficient scope for the cultivation of skills, interest, attitudes and appreciations. It must be mostly based upon the first-hand experiences of the pupils from all significant areas of human living. These experiences are characterized by newness, novelty, challenge, stimulation and creativity. Science content receives increasing emphasis as the children move to the higher grades. Curriculum is a tool in which the hands of the teachers which is used to realize the objectives. It is pivot, around it whole human knowledge concentrates. Curriculum includes those activities which are used by the school to attain the purpose of education. It is more than teaching and learning and includes practice, activities, industry vocation and acquiring knowledge. The curriculum is made up of everything that surrounds a learner in all his working terms. It has been described as the environment in motion with physical, social and psychological considerations. Curriculum includes total learning experience that a child receives at school. All the learning inside or outside the school which is planned and guided by the teacher. Curriculum includes content, method of teaching and purpose of education. It is a program of activities designed to realize the objective which is known as curriculum. Need of curriculum. Curriculum development has a broad scope because it is not only about the school, the learners and the teachers. It is also about the development of society in general. In today's knowledge economy, curriculum development plays a vital role in improving the economy of a country. It also provides answers or solution to the world's pressing conditions and problems such as environment, politics, socio-economics and other issues of poverty and climatic change with sustainable development. There must be a chain of developmental process to develop a society. First, the school curriculum, particularly in higher education, must be developed to preserve the country's national identity and to ensure its economy, growth and stability. Hence, curriculum development matters a lot in setting the direction of change in an organization, not only at the micro but also at macro levels. As long as the goals and objectives of curriculum development are clear in the planner's mind, cutting edge achievements in various concerns can be realized. Now, principles of curriculum. Principle of student centeredness. As modern education is child-centered, the curriculum should also be child-centered. It should be based on the student's needs, interests, abilities, aptitude, age level and circumstances. The student should be central figure in any scheme of curriculum construction. In fact, curriculum is meant to bring about the development of the child in the desired direction so that he is able to adjust well in life. Principle of community centeredness. Though the child's development and growth is a main consideration of curriculum construction, yet his social behavior is also to be suitably developed. Both the individual development and the social development of the child deserves equal attention. He is to live in and for the society. Therefore, his needs and desires must be in conformity with the needs and desires of the society in which he is to live. The values, attitudes and skills that are prevailing in the community must be reflected in the curriculum. However, the society is not static, it is dynamic. Its needs and requirements are changing with the rapid developments taking place in all fields. While working for the development, this factor cannot be ignored. Principle of activity centeredness. The curriculum should center around the multifarious activities of pupils. It should provide well selected activities according to the general interest and developmental stages of children. It should provide constructive, creative and project activities. For small children, play activities should also be provided. The purposeful activities both in the classroom and outside the classroom should be provided. It is through a network of activities that the desired experiences can be provided and consequently desirable behavioral changes can be brought about in children. Principle of forward looking. Education is to enable the child to lead a successful social life. So, the curriculum should not cater to the present needs of the child alone. The needs of his future life should also be considered. The curriculum should also include knowledge, skills, experiences, influences, etc., which will develop in the child the abilities and the power to make effective adjustments in the later life. Principle of coordination and integration. The pupils are to be provided with selected experiences through various subjects and activities, but these must be well integrated. Various subjects and activities have to serve the same ultimate purpose, the achievement of the aims of education. The activities and subjects should not be put in after tight compartments, but these should be interrelated and well integrated so as to develop the whole child. Conservative. One of the main functions of education is to preserve and transmit our cultural heritage. This is essential for human progress. Culture consists of traditions, customs, attitudes, skills, conduct, values and knowledge. However, the curriculum framers must take a suitable selection of the elements of culture, keeping in view their educational value and the developmental stage of pupils. Relevance. It should emphasize those aspects that will be of benefit to the learner and the society. The curriculum should assist in helping to ease contact between the learner and his studies, socialize him and facilitate the transfer of knowledge and developmental skills to the entire population. Flexibility. The curriculum must be capable of adapting to the needs of the changing learner and the society. Since education is not static, it should change with the society. It must be flexible and be able to create an avenue for growth and development to attain the predetermined objectives. In other words, it should be sufficiently flexible to enhance its adaptation, changing condition and needs of the people. Quality. Outcome driven, aligned and intentionally designed to achieve its purpose. Current, relevant and forward looking. It is also connected to civic and personal obligations and growth as central to learning. It provides various modes of delivery, recognition of prior and alternative learning experiences and multiple program pathways. It respects and honors people's differing backgrounds, cultures, experiences and identities as a foundation and support for each student's success. Balance. The curriculum must maintain a balance between subjects and activities, between direct and indirect experiences, between academic and vocational education, between compulsory and optional subjects, between formal and informal education, between individual and social aims of education. Utility. One of the purposes of education is to prepare the child for living and learning. This is the most important consideration so that the child can live a fruitful and self-fulfilling life. Curriculum should provide rich experiences, both academic and social, to the students. The content, activities and experience of the curriculum at a particular stage, grade are useful to the learner further and for higher studies. Creativity. The conservation of culture helps to sustain the society. The culture should not be simply transmitted but also enriched. There should be provision in the curriculum to develop the creative powers of the child so that he becomes a contributory member in the society. Raymond says, in curriculum that is suited to the needs of today and of the future, there must be definitely creative subjects. Need for curriculum adaptation for visually impaired children. The whole gamut of the curriculum for children in school and community is centered around two significant aspects: the opportunity and the experience. Often, children are provided with more opportunities, but the more provision of opportunities does not mean the acquisition of experience. The understanding of the self and the world is not a whole when experience is denied. Sighted children have an edge over visually impaired children in the acquisition of knowledge through experience. The vision, which brings an enormous amount of information in just a glimpse, enables sighted children to have rich experience in a natural way. They learn the experience as of sighted children to have rich experiences as a whole. But the learning of visually impaired children is not whole but in pieces of information. Thus, there is a significant difference between two groups: the sighted children having natural learning and the visually impaired children having mediated learning. Mani MNG in the year 1987 has quoted, "There is therefore a need for adaptation in the curriculum for visually impaired children." Curriculum for visually impaired. A visually impaired child in the regular class is one among many children in that class. The curriculum meant for visually impaired in integrated schools be more like than unlike that of sighted children. Most information is received by the visually impaired through touch and hearing. Hence, these experiences must be planned to facilitate the acquisition of at least the near normal experience acquired by other children through vision. Hence, there is no need for a special curriculum for visually impaired children who are in the general classroom, but special approaches based on multisensory experiences are needed. To learn the general curriculum, the visually impaired child should possess some skills which are peculiar to blindness, and those skills are attained through PLUS curriculum. The existing core curriculum, it includes English, language arts and other languages to the extent possible, mathematics, science, health, physical education, fine arts, social studies, economics, business education, vocational education, history. The expanded core curriculum, it includes accessing assistive technology, career education, compensatory including communication modes, independent living skills, orientation and mobility skills, recreation and leisure skills, self-determination, social interaction skills, visual efficiency skills. A short description for each of these areas of the expanded core curriculum follows. The first one is compensatory skills, including communication modes. Compensatory skills include such experiences as concept development, spatial understanding, study and organization skills, speaking and listening skills, and adaptations necessary for accessing all areas of existing core curriculum. Communications needs will vary depending upon the degree of functional vision and effects of additional disabilities and the task to be done. Children may use braille, large print, print with the use of optical devices, regular print, tactile symbols, a calendar system, and sometimes recorded materials to communicate. Regardless, each student will need instruction from a teacher with professional preparation to instruct students with visual impairments in each of the compensatory skills they need to master. These compensatory skills of the visually impaired child are significant and are not addressed with sufficient specificity in the existing core curriculum. The second is the orientation and mobility skills. As a part of the expanded core curriculum, orientation and mobility is a vital area of learning. Related service providers who have been specifically prepared to teach orientation and mobility to blind and visually impaired learners are necessary in the delivery of this curriculum. Students will need to learn about themselves and the environment in which they move, from basic body image to independent travel in rural areas and busy cities. The existing core curriculum does not include provision for this instruction. It has been said that the two primary effects of blindness on the individual are communication and locomotion. The expanded core curriculum must include emphasis on the fundamental need and basic right of visually impaired persons to travel as independently as possible, enjoying and learning from the environment through which they are passing to the greatest extent possible. Third, the social interaction skills. Almost all social skills used by the sighted children and adults have been learned by visually observing the environment and other persons and behaving in socially appropriate ways based on that information. Social interaction skills are not learned casually and instantly by blind and visually impaired individuals as they are by the sighted persons. Social skills must be carefully, consciously and sequentially taught to blind and visually impaired students. Nothing in the existing core curriculum addresses this critical need in a satisfactory manner. Thus, instruction in social interaction skills becomes a part of the expanded core curriculum as a need so fundamental that it can often mean the difference between social situation and a satisfying and fulfilling life as an adult. Next is independent living skills. The area of the expanded core curriculum is often referred to as daily living skills. It consists of all the tasks and functions persons perform in accordance with their abilities in order to lead lives as independently as possible. These curricular needs are varied as they include skills in personal hygiene, food preparation, money management, time monitoring, organization. Some independent skills are addressed in the existing core curriculum, but they are often introduced as splinter skills appearing in learning material, disappearing and then reappearing. This approach will not adequately prepare blind and visually impaired students for adult life. Traditional classes in home economics and family life are not enough to meet the learning needs of most visually impaired students, since they assume a basic level of knowledge acquired incidentally through vision. The skills and knowledge that sighted students acquire by casually and instantly observing and interacting with their environment are often difficult, if not possible, for blind and visually impaired students to learn without direct sequential instruction by knowledgeable persons. And the next is recreation and leisure skills. Skills in recreation and leisure are seldom offered as a part of the existing core curriculum. Rather, physical activities in the form of team games and athletics are the usual way in which physical fitness needs are met for sighted students. Many of the activities in physical education are excellent and appropriate for visually impaired students. In addition, these students need to develop activities in recreation and leisure that they can enjoy throughout their adult lives. Most often, sighted persons select their recreation and leisure activity repertoire by visually observing activities and choosing those in which they wish to participate. The teaching of recreation and leisure skills to blind and visually impaired students must be planned and deliberately taught and should focus on the development of lifelong skills. Career education. There is a need for general vocational education as offered in the traditional core curriculum, as well as the need for career education offered specifically for blind and visually impaired students. Many of the skills and knowledge offered to all students through vocational education can be of value to blind and visually impaired students. They will not be sufficient, however, to prepare students for adult life, since such instruction assumes a basic knowledge of the world of work based on prior visual experiences. Career education in an expanded core curriculum will provide the visually impaired learner of all the ages with the opportunity to learn firsthand the work done by the banker, the gardener, the social worker and the artist. It will provide the student opportunities to explore strengths and interests in a systematic, well-planned manner. Once more, the disadvantage facing the visually impaired learner is the lack of information about work and jobs that the sighted student acquires by observation. Technology. Technology is a tool to unlock learning and expand the horizons of students. It is not in reality a curricular area. However, it is added to the expanded core curriculum because technology occupies a special place in the education of blind and visually impaired students. Technology can be a great equalizer. For the braille user, it allows the students to provide feedback to the learners by first producing material in the braille for personal use and then in print for the teacher, classmates and parents. It gives blind persons the capability of storing and retrieving information. It brings the gift of a library under the fingertips of the visually impaired person. Technology enhances communication and learning as well as expands the world of blind and visually impaired persons in many significant ways. Thus, technology is a tool to master and is essential as a part of the expanded core curriculum. Visual efficiency skills. The visual acuity of children diagnosed as being visually impaired varies greatly. Through the use of thorough, systematic training, most students with remaining functional vision can be taught to be better and more efficient to utilize their remaining vision. The responsibility for performing a functional vision assessment, planning appropriate learning activities for effective visual utilization and instructing students in their functional vision in effective and efficient ways is clearly an area of expanded core curriculum. Educational responsibility for teaching visual efficiency skills falls to the provisionally prepared teacher of visually impaired learners. Bringing together all of these skills learned in the expanded core curriculum produces a concept of the blind or visually impaired person in the community. It is difficult to imagine that a congenitally blind or visually impaired person could be entirely at ease and at home within the social, recreational and vocational structure of the general community without mastering the elements of the expanded core curriculum. What is known about the congenitally blind and visually impaired students is that unless skills such as orientation and mobility, social interaction and independent living are learned, these students are at high risk for lonely, isolated, unproductive lives. Accomplishment and joys such as shopping, dining, attending and participating in recreational activities are a right, not a privilege for blind and visually impaired students. Responsibilities such as banking, taking care of health needs and using public and private services are a part of full life for all persons, including those who are blind or visually impaired. Adoption and implementation of a core curriculum for blind and visually impaired students, including with additional disabilities, will assure students of the opportunity to function well and completely in the general community. Each area in the expanded core curriculum can further defined to address the educational issues facing these children and assist parents and educators to fulfill their needs. The following table represents the 9 specific areas of the expanded core curriculum. Compensatory skills. These critical skills include concept development and organizational skills as well as communication skills such as speaking and listening, sign language, tactile symbols, braille or print reading and writing, and accessing recorded materials. Orientation and mobility are the skills to help a child to know where she is in space and to move safely, independently and efficiently in the environment. Social interaction skills are the skills needed to participate actively and appropriately in social situations. Independent living skills are skills of daily living needed to take care of for oneself independently, including personal hygiene, food preparation, cleaning, clothing, care and money management. Recreation and leisure skills are skills to promote the enjoyment of leisure activities, including learning new leisure activities and making choices about how to spend leisure time. Sensory efficiency skills are skills that help students to use all their senses, including functional vision, hearing, touch, taste and smell. Assistive technology skills are the skills to use computers and other electronic equipment to function independently and effectively at school, home or work. Career education needs skills that encourage students to explore career options and learn about the world of work. Self-determination are the skills that enable students to become effective advocates for themselves based on their own needs and goals. The next is the delivery of core curriculum for blind and visually impaired students. In varying ways and various degrees, the existing core curriculum is essential to the learning of blind and visually impaired learners. This fact has generally accepted in the profession of educators for visually impaired learners and by parents of visually impaired students. Of equal importance is the acceptance of the expanded core curriculum as being necessary for blind and visually impaired students. Assuming the second level of acceptance has occurred, what must be done next is to determine how the expanded core curriculum will be provided for visually impaired learners. The expanded core curriculum for blind and visually impaired students will be difficult to complete in 12 years of education, especially for students who are high academic learners. Several approaches for fitting the ECC into a normal education career have been suggested. One possibility that has been used is to depend upon the infused competencies obtained in the existing core curriculum for providing the additional skills and knowledge needed by the visually impaired learner. To conclude, for too many years, educators were unaware of the unique and specialized needs of blind and visually impaired students. The outcome has been a modern tragedy, with too many products of our educational efforts living isolated with troubled lives. For too many years, educators have known the content of the curriculum needed by blind and visually impaired learners that would equalize education by neutralizing the effects of visual impairments on incident learning, and they too have found reasons not to implement the expanded core curriculum. Thank you.